Jonathan means in Hebrew, gift from God. It's hard to explain to someone that's not adopted. I don't know how you'd put it. I just feel chosen. I was placed with my mother and father around 6 months old on a temporary basis. And then after demonstrating that they were competent and capable, they were allowed to begin the process to finally adopt me. So by the age of 2, I was finally adopted into that. I don't have any negative or positive memories of foster care at all, other than, I know I was well taken care of. I remember growing up in a loving home, strict but loving. My dad, being a preacher at the time, was very discipline focused. My mother was incredibly loving. She used to be a school teacher, and then she became a full stay-at-home mom. And then when that was done, she went back to teaching. To this day, her love of children and just being around children is the one quality that permeates everything she does. I have 3 sisters. 2 of them were also adopted, one here in New York and then one from Korea. And then, after they had adopted 3 times, my mother got pregnant. When I was young, I played basketball, hockey, baseball especially. Loved airplanes, I loved jets. Anything about an airplane, I was in love. I chose the school I did because it's one of only 2 schools in the United States that if you can get through and graduate, they have the ability to put you into the U.S. Naval Academy, the Air Force Academy, West Point, or the Coast Guard Academy. And that was really, really appealing to me because I thought I'd love to be a pilot someday. So I decided to go to that school, and it literally changed my life. It created a mindset, a discipline, and a focus, not only physically, but mentally, that has just guided me throughout my whole life. My junior year in college, went for an eye test, and my eyesight was failing. I had astigmatism. Aviators are not allowed to have any vision correction, and you're not allowed to have any surgery to correct it. I had even been to Top Gun school. I went to Miramar, I sat in the airplane, I passed all the tests, and then a stupid thing like my eyes completely torpedoed my career. But I had a computer science degree, and off into the business world I went. I spent 17 years with Bausch & Lomb, global company with diverse businesses from mouthwash to hand lotion to $1 million laser machines to pharmaceuticals to contact lenses. And I got to work on all those businesses. I left and I was running a $600 million business at Bausch & Lomb, and I went and was running a $20 million business. When we took over the company, it had lost $250 million the year before. We fixed the company in year 3, sold it in year 4. We made them over $500 million. The recruiters had seen what I had been doing. And so I'd gone through all the interviews, and then you end up, as you always do, in the office with Carl, because you have to be able to go toe to toe with one of the greatest legendary investors in the world. We were growing 20 or 30%, we were crushing it. And then COVID comes in, and overnight, I lost half my business. People are crying in the office, people don't know what to do, they're scared for their health, their families. I knew at that point that we had to do something. It wasn't to generate revenue, it was to give people purpose. It was to give them something to do so that they could feel like they were helping. So we decided, being a textile company with our own factory, we were gonna make PPE. And let's just donate it, give it away. Veterinarians, doctors, nurses, first responders, no one could get any masks. So we just started giving them away. And then the US military came to us and they said, hey, we can't take them for free, but we'd sure love to buy them. And so I'm like, okay. Witmer, which is a food chain in upstate New York, they came to us and said, hey, we'd like to buy them too. We get through the crisis. We made more money than we ever had in the last 4 years with half the sales. Like a lot of couples, we had fertility issues, and then we lost a child. And that was very traumatic and difficult. After we had the miscarriage, we decided that, okay, let's look at adoption right now. We happened to come across an agency that specialized in foreign adoptions, particularly from Russia. It is so difficult to adopt for foreigners from Russia. It takes 2 trips. You have to live in Russia. You have to go to court. On the application, it says, are you willing to take siblings? Are you willing to take multiples? And we said, yes, we were, and that we wanted a little girl. 6, 7 months later, we get the message. It said, hey, we've located a child for you. And, we landed in Moscow. It's very, very stressful. It's hard to explain to people. You fly into a communist country, you go through the border controls, you see the military, you see the machine guns, and then you get to the hotel, which is a small apartment. The next day, we head to the local airport and get on a jet to fly to Chelyabinsk. Landed there, it's taken to another, even smaller hotel, and we waited for days. Finally, we get the word from the orphanage that, okay, they can come. You go, you meet the kids, they watch you interact with the kids, you spend time there for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then, if approved by the orphanage, then you go back to America and wait 6, 7 months while they do a search. So we walk into the orphanage. It was very bleak. It was more quiet than you might think. And we had asked for a little girl, and then they brought out a little boy. And we said, oh, there must be a mistake. That must be for someone else. And they said, oh, it's okay. They took the little boy and brought out a girl. And it was very, very shocking to us because it was like the way they looked at human life and the way they thought about things, it was humbling. We visited with the little girl, but then we inquired about taking both. Flash forward another 7 months, back in Russia we are. We went to court, and we were there 2 or 3 weeks again. But then the decision came down, and the children were ours. And that was our first experience. But shortly after we got back, we decided we would do it again. I mean, I had always been in love with adoption, but it was just, okay, we went from 0 to 2. Yeah, we got this. We had no clue, but we thought we were all that, right? Same exact process. If our turn comes up and they bring them in and they're scared of us and we're scared of them, but it was really cool. And it was immediately apparent they were twins, brother and sister twins. Their birthday is May 2nd. And it's important because it makes all 4 of our first kids almost the same age. We decided that we were going to adopt one more time, just one. We wanted a girl. And so we chose Guatemala. And we checked the box for siblings, but they assured us it never happens. This is Guatemala. And we're like, okay, no siblings, that's great. We just want one. We got 4 already. We get the call, and they're like, you're going to want to sit down. And we're like, oh, great, you found it. It's exciting. We found siblings, and they're twins. But the most remarkable thing is their birthday is May 2nd. So that means that all sets of our twins, all 4 kids, have the same birthday. We said yes, and then that was it. 6 is enough. Every superhero is adopted. Superman's from another world, he got adopted, right? Batman, same thing. Spider-Man, same thing. Wonder Woman, same thing. They're adopted. There's just something special about that. I grew up feeling like that, and that was probably the greatest gift my parents gave me, to make me feel like I was God's gift. And I think that every adopted child should feel that way, and if I can help that, there's nothing I won't do. My name is Jonathan Witmer, and I am that kid.